George Preddy's moment in history would occur, for he would be at the right place, at the right moment, and with the right training with which to guarantee his place in history. He would that day establish a European theater of operations record by destroying 6 aircraft in a single mission. Reveille came just 20 minutes after Preddy hit the sack. His problems were just beginning. The previously scrubbed mission was on to Berlin, and he was leading it.
There was no particular air of excitement that day. And when George took off, as usual, I waited.
Preddy, along with Lieutenants Shelton Heyer and Cy Doliak, had just spotted a flight of 30 Me-109s about to jump a third box of B-17s ahead of them at 26,000 feet, when Preddy threw up in his oxygen mask. Feeling very sick and afraid of suffocating, he cleared his mask as best he could and began to take out his frustrations on the enemy aircraft. He reported, "I opened fire on one at the rear of formation from 300 yards and got hits. Score 1. Lieutenant Heyer and I drove up behind another, and I got hits in the wing roots, blazing him. He bailed out. Score 2. Heyer got one to my right. I fired on another at close range, causing him to smoke and then fall apart. Score 3. I hit another with a short burst and he blazed. Score 4. I got good bursts into another, causing him to burn and spin down. Score 5. We were now at 5,000 feet, and I was alone. I went after a single 109 before he could jump me. My initial burst was ineffective. He almost nailed me, but I outclimbed him. He stalled and fell off to the left. I dropped down astern of him. He jettisoned his canopy as I fired a short burst, getting many hits. As I pulled past, he bailed out. Score 6. I lost contact with all friendly and enemy aircraft, so headed home alone. It had all happened in less than 5 minutes. As Cripes' Mighty Third taxied up to Preddy's hard stand, those present knew that both had been in mortal combat. Oil streaks ran from the bottom of the engine compartment, indicating more than usual stress on the aircraft. Pilot and ground crews gathered around and on Preddy's 51. Even the novice could tell that Preddy not only was tired from the ordeal, but was still feeling the effects from the night before. However, he willingly accepted the good wishes from all present and completed the aircraft log for McVeigh. After the crowd dispersed, the squadron painter would come and add 7 more Balkan crosses to Cripes' Mighty. She now displayed 31 victories. For his deeds on this mission, George Ratsy Preddy would be recommended for his nation's highest decoration, the Medal of Honor. The next day, after a good night's rest, he would assist a camera crew from the 8th Fighter Command in the preparation of a PR film depicting the previous day's events. Preddy put on a show with several low passes and really beat up Bodney for the troops. It was only proper that the 51's ground crew be the first to greet their hero. In the absence of Chief Lou Lunn, Red McVeigh, Armorer Mo Kohanek, and several ground crew members were photographed greeting the Major on his victorious return. the unit painter did his artwork one more time. Preddy would not fly Cripes a Mighty Third again, but she would score 10 more victories. On August 11th, an award ceremony was held for Major Preddy, at which he was presented with the nation's